Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. We won. We won. Thank you very much, everybody. What a good feeling. We like winning, don't we, huh? We're going to make our country greater than ever before. Hello, Washington, and hello, America. We're all over America. I'm thrilled to be back with so many friends, supporters, and true American patriots on the eve of taking back our country. That's what we're going to do, take back our country. Tomorrow at noon, the curtain closes on 4 long years of American decline, and we begin a brand new day of American strength and prosperity, dignity and pride. Bringing it all back. Once and for all, we're going to end the reign of a failed and corrupt political establishment in Washington, a failed administration. We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to stop the invasion of our borders. We're going to reclaim our wealth. We're going to unlock the liquid gold that's right under our feet, liquid gold. We're going to bring back law and order to our cities. We're going to restore patriotism to our schools, get radical left, woke ideologies the hell out of our military and out of our government. And we are going to make America great again. I want to thank the tens of thousands of incredible men and women who have come from all over the nation to take part in this very special moment. And I just heard in watching some of the coverage that there are rallies like this taking place all over the country. People are happy. People are happy. It's been a long time. None of this would have been possible without you and the millions of hardworking citizens who have joined our cause. You know, right over there, just noticed a group of beautiful ladies, beautiful women from North Carolina, right here too. I don't know how the hell they've been to 167 rallies. You believe it? You think their husbands are happy about that? I don't know. But they look beautiful. They're incredible people, and they love our country. Thank you very much. Then up here I see we have front row Joes all over the place. Uncle Sam, Mr. Wall. Ah, boy, oh boy. But we've been through so much together, and for the next 4 years, I will fight for you every single day. We're going to be fighting for you. This is the greatest political movement in American history. And 75 days ago, we achieved the most epic political victory our country has ever seen. That's what they say. We won the popular vote for the first time of any Republican in many, many years. We swept all 7 swing states by big numbers. We won Pennsylvania, we won Georgia, we won North Carolina, we won Michigan, we won Wisconsin, we won Arizona, we won Nevada. We won them all by historic margins, and we won the great state of Florida by 13 points. Nobody's done that ever. And a record that will never be broken, all 50 states, Republican Party, the first time that that's ever happened, all 50 states. And we won Latino men and women, and on top of that, youth, men, women, urban, suburban, rural, and people from everywhere in between are joining us in record numbers. We've never had anything like this. Too big to rig, that's what I used to say. Too big to rig. We made it too big. Oh, and they tried. They tried. It was too big. Around 9:02, they just said, let's get the hell out of here. This is... They were swamped, to put it nicely. We also took back the U.S. Senate. We had some great people running. And the House Republicans won their largest popular vote majority in presidential year since 1928. People voting. So the Senate, the House Republicans, we got all three of them. A little bit close on those two. Senate's in great shape. House Republicans, actually, they both have great leaders. They both have great people heading. John Thune is fantastic. And if you look at Mike Johnson, he's got a pretty tight majority, but actually it's very tight, but it's very good because we vote unified. We're really voting unified, and so it doesn't make much difference. In the election of 2024, which will be the most consequential election in American history, we not only won a mandate, but we built a new American majority that will lead our country to unparalleled success for generations to come. That's what we want to do. And someday, in 30 years from now, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, some of these young people are going to say, I remember Donald Trump, he did a good job. He set us on his way. He told us, he gave us a path. Our new administration will inherit disasters at home and abroad, an economy plagued by inflation and high interest rates, a catastrophic border crisis. Nobody can believe they let people in. They have an open border policy. Do you think that makes sense? Open borders. Anybody wants to. Jails, prisons, mental institutions, gangs being emptied right through that ugly open border, a government that cannot care for its citizens in a time of emergency. Look at what's happening in Los Angeles. Look at what's happening in North Carolina. They've treated them so badly. In a planet on the brink of World War III, it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But starting tomorrow, I will act with historic speed and strength and fix every single crisis facing our country. We have to do it. We're not going to have a country left. Before even taking office, you are already seeing results that nobody expected to see. Everyone is calling it I don't want to say this, it's too braggadocious, but we'll say it anyway. The Trump effect. It's you. You're the effect. Since the election, the stock market has surged and small business optimism has soared a record 41 points to a 39-year high. Bitcoin has shattered one record high after another. The major investment company known as DMAC, the properties, has announced that it will be investing between $20 and $40 billion in the United States, and SoftBank, another great company, has pledged between $100 and $200 billion. These are all investments that are only being made because of the fact that we won the election. Can create jobs for hundreds of thousands, even millions of Americans. Today I spoke with Tim Cook of Apple. He said they're going to make a massive investment in the United States because of our big election win. And as of today, TikTok is back. So, you know, I did a little TikTok thing. We have a guy, TikTok Jack. He's a young kid, like 21 years old. And we hired this guy, and I went on TikTok. Can you believe what I'll do to win an election? And we went on TikTok, and Republicans have never won the young vote, the youth vote. They win a lot of votes, but they never won the youth vote. We won the youth vote by 36 points. So I like TikTok. I like it. I like it. I had a slightly good experience, wouldn't you say? Romney lost it by 40 points. Not so long ago, we won it by 36 points. That's a very big spread. But I said we need to save TikTok because we're talking about a tremendous... Who in this audience goes with TikTok? Many? Yeah, very popular. And frankly, we have no choice. We have to save it. A lot of jobs. We don't want to give our business to China. We don't want to give our business to other people. And I said, you know, TikTok without my approval, meaning the president's approval, because Congress gave the president the right to make a deal, do whatever he wants. And they did that a long time ago when they had a different president. They didn't know that I was going to be the president, I guess. So I said, very simply, a joint venture. So if TikTok is worth nothing, zero, without an approval, you know, if you don't approve, they're out of business, they're worth nothing. If you do approve, they're worth like $1 trillion. They're worth some crazy number. So I said, I'll approve, but let the United States of America own 50% of TikTok. I'm approving on behalf of the United States. So they'll have a partner, the United States, and they'll have a lot of bidders, and the United States will do what we call a joint venture. And there's no risk. We're not putting up any money. All we're doing is giving them the approval, without which they don't have anything. So I don't know. It sounds like that works. What do you think? Good? I think so. So whether you like TikTok or not, we're going to make a lot of money. Perhaps most beautiful of all, this week we achieved an epic ceasefire agreement as a first step toward lasting peace in the Middle East. And this agreement could only have happened as a result of our historic victory in November. That was some victory. Was that the greatest? I don't even know which was greater, 2016 or this one. I think this one. Look, Honest Abe Lincoln. We have Honest Abe. We have Uncle Sam. You know, Uncle Sam shook my hand about 2 months ago. He's got the strongest grip I've ever... You are a strong man. I said, what the hell was that? But I'm glad to report that the first hostages have just been released. And who knows what's going to happen? I know that Biden is saying that they made the deal. Well, you know, I mean, that deal should have done. First of all, it would have never happened if I were president. Would have never happened. There was not even a thought of it. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money. They were broke, totally broke, and they would have never done anything. But they did it, you know. I like to think back to the past. I said, if only the election weren't rigged, all the things that would have happened, that would have been so good. But it was. We're not going to let that happen again. I want to thank my friend Steve Witkoff, who I think is here. I know he made a beautiful speech. I heard he made a great speech. But he's an amazing guy. I said, I got to get myself a negotiator. We have to get a good negotiator. A lot of guys are knowledgeable, but they can't negotiate. They don't have the personality or whatever. And Steve does, and Steve's a great negotiator, very successful guy. But he's our new special envoy to the Middle East for helping reach this great breakthrough, and really couldn't have been done without Steve. Where is Steve Witkoff? Is he around here someplace? Because he was so great. There he is. Hello, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. What a job. Our incoming administration has achieved all of this in the Middle East in less than 3 months without being president. We've achieved more without being president than they've achieved in 4 years with being president. But just imagine all of the good things that we will accomplish together with 4 more years in the White House, and we're going to do a lot of things. You're going to see something tomorrow. You're going to see executive orders that are going to make you extremely happy. Lots of them. Lots of them. We have to set our country on the proper course. By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home. Think of it. We've allowed millions and millions of people into our country through open borders, no checks, no vetting, no anything. Millions and millions of people. And lots of those people are murderers. 52% of them killed more than one person. Other than that, they're quite fine. They're nice people. These are rough people. Remember, I used to say these people are rough. And they would say, no, no, these are illegal immigrants. They're very safe. I said, they're not safe. Look at what's happened with Venezuela, where they're sending these gangs in and they're taking over apartment complexes in Colorado and then cutting off the fingers of a man who had the nerve and desire to call the police. He said, you want to call the police? Bah, guess what? You have no fingers. These are rough people, and they're getting the hell out of our country. They're out. The border security measures I will outline in my inaugural address tomorrow will be the most aggressive, sweeping effort to restore our borders the world has ever seen. You know, we had the best, safest border in the history of our country. You remember that with the great chart that I put up. I don't even know if they have that chart now. Maybe they do. These guys are good. Maybe they do. Who the hell? I don't know. I didn't tell them I was going to do this. I didn't tell, but we have some very good people, but I didn't say. But we had a chart, and I looked to my right, and then they said, ooh, that was it. That hurt. What the hell was that? I still have that throbbing feeling in my ear. Oh, there it is. Look at it. These people are amazing. I didn't tell them I was doing that. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's all over the place. I love that. That is the most beautiful piece of paper I've ever seen in my life. But if you look at that chart and you look at the red arrow on the bottom, that's the single lowest we ever had in history, at least recorded history, of illegals pouring into our country. We had done a great job, and then they took over, and look what happened. It's like an Elon Musk rocket ship going up. That reminds me of Elon, his rocket ships. Look at that. Look at the difference. And it just continued and continued, and we're taking in people that shouldn't be here. They come in from prisons, from jails. They shouldn't be here. Mental institutions. I used to mention, and the press would always excoriate me, I'd say the late, great Hannibal Lecter came into our country today. Silence of the Lamb. Anybody see that movie? Lovely movie. And when people went to the voter booth, they said, we don't want Hannibal Lecter in our country. The press would say, why is he bringing up Hannibal Lecter? That was a fictitious character. Actually, they're not so fictitious. We have people in our country that are probably worse that we allowed in. But we will quickly reestablish control of our sovereign territory and borders. We will expel every single illegal alien, gang member, and migrant criminal operating on American soil, and remove the savage gang Tren de Aragua from the United States. Here's a little video for you to see about this gang. Go ahead.
Open borders, deadly consequences.
Border crisis. Record high crossings are putting a strain on cities across America.
It is a full-blown invasion.
Armed Venezuelan gang members storming an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado.
When people talk about MAGA crime, this is what they're talking about.
San Antonio, Texas, just one of the latest cities to have apartment complexes taken over by members of the Venezuelan gang.
Biden and Harris had created a program to bring them in under humanitarian parole.
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been released into the United States.
My 20-year-old daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was murdered in her own room. Kayla's murderer was apprehended by Border Patrol crossing illegally into the U.S.
Kayla's murderer had been improperly released into the United States.
Abolish ICE.
Yeah, we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
More than a dozen people suspected of being Tren de Aragua gang members right here in San Antonio.
The gang members had been terrorizing the apartment complex.
New details in the murder of Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national.
And was paroled and released into the country
by the Biden administration.
If they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
Martinez and Angel wrapped his arms around Jocelyn's neck, took off her pants, and climbed on top of her. Later strangled Jocelyn to death and then tied up her hands and feet.
Court documents suggest a group of men arrested for beating and robbing a Dallas woman last month are members of a Venezuelan street gang.
The men threatened to cut off her fingers if she did not cooperate. Manuel Hernandez was booked by Colleyville police just 2 days earlier and released the day before the robbery.
A Peruvian gang leader who is wanted for 23 murders, who was arrested by Border Patrol near Roma, Texas, then released into America.
That's what we allowed in, and they're nice people compared to some of them. They're nicer than others. These are really vicious people, gang members, and many, many people from prisons. And crime all over the world is down. You know why? Because they got their criminals into the United States of America. You look at Venezuela, they've emptied their prisons into our country. Many other places the same. I would have done the same if I headed up any of the countries. I know most of those guys are smart. They're leaders. They are smart, streetwise people. As soon as I heard they were going to have open borders, I said, if you do that, every prison all over the world is going to be emptied out into our country. They come in from the Congo. The Congo's big on emptying their prisons. The only thing good about it is they make our criminals look like really nice people. These people are vicious people all over the world, not just South America, all over the world they come. From mental institutions and from jails and prisons. With our actions tomorrow, my administration will deliver justice for every family whose loved one has been stolen from them by migrant crime, including Laken Riley, Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nungaray, Kayla Hamilton, and every other precious American soul that we have lost to these animals. Their memories will live in the hearts forever, in our hearts forever, and we will never, ever forget them. And their contribution, I told their mothers who were devastated, their parents, their fathers, they're devastated. They'll never be the same. They'll never be the same. But I said, your daughter has made a major contribution. Your son has made a major contribution. There are hundreds and even thousands of victims of this horrible atrocity. And you add those numbers to the numbers of crime that we're already going through the roof, and it's something that you wouldn't even believe. Do you remember I did the debate, and I had David Muir from ABC saying, no, crime has gone down. I said, no, it's gone through the roof. Crime has gone through the roof, David. No, crime has gone down. I said, it's gone through the roof. And then he goes, I disagree with that. The next day they announced that crime was up like 40%. This guy is, the whole thing is it's so bad. You can't even imagine how anybody could be for these things of, think of it, open borders, prisons and mental institutions, men playing in women's sports, transgender for everyone. Transgender. And very soon we'll begin the largest deportation operation in American history, large and evil. Even larger than President Dwight Eisenhower, who has the record right now. And we're going to end the Biden war on American energy and unleash our energy resources to quickly defeat inflation and achieve the lowest cost of energy and electricity on earth. And we're getting much help. Every radical and foolish executive order of the Biden administration will be repealed within hours of when I take the oath of office. Oh, you're going to have a lot of fun watching television tomorrow. Somebody said yesterday, sir, don't sign so many in one day. Let's do it over a period of weeks. I said, like hell, we're going to do it over weeks. We're going to sign them at the beginning. You know that old story. Let's do it later, then it never gets done. No, we're doing them tomorrow. And we'll have plenty to sign in the future. Don't worry about it. It's not going to stop. But we're going to stop the destructive and divisive diversity, equity, and inclusion mandates all across the government and private sector and return our country to the merit system. You know, the Supreme Court ruled that the United States is allowed to go by the merit system, which is what made us great in the first place. That was a big ruling that a lot of people don't even know about, but it was a big, tremendous ruling. And you're focusing on character, competence, and qualifications in all hiring decisions. Now you're allowed to go by competence and ability and genius. You don't have to hire somebody to send up one of his rocket ships that doesn't know anything about what's happening. As a first step toward restoring transparency and accountability to government, we will also reverse the overclassification of government documents, and in the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other topics of great public interest. It's all going to be released, Uncle Sam. And I will direct our military to begin construction of the great Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will all be made in the USA. And we will get wokeness the hell out of our military immediately and make it like it used to be. Take a look at this. So we won 2 world wars with that. And that's the way it's going to be. The American people have given us their trust, and in return, we're going to give them the best first day, the biggest first week, and the most extraordinary first 100 days of any presidency in American history. To implement this historic agenda, I've assembled an all-star cabinet of patriots and visionaries and reformers who will fight for America, and together we will win, win, win for America. To restore the spirit of American Armed Forces, I have appointed Pete Hegseth as our next Secretary of Defense. Where's Pete? Where's Pete? Pete's here someplace. Where is he? Good job, Pete. They like you, Pete. Thanks, Pete. They like him. To bring back integrity to our intelligence community, Tulsi Gabbard will be our next Director of National Intelligence. To make America healthy again, we will have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services. To end the weaponization of our government and restore the impartial rule of law. Oh, this is so important. She's so incredible. Pam Bondi will be an outstanding Attorney General. She's going to do an incredible job. She will do an incredible job, and she's working with another person who's going to be unbelievable at the FBI, Kash Patel. And tomorrow, everybody in this very large arena will be very happy with my decision on the J6 hostages. Very happy. I think you'll be very, very happy. I would say about 99.9% in this beautiful arena. And by the way, I want to thank the owners of this arena. They are great. They're up here someplace in one of those beautiful boxes. And their team is doing very well, and Ovechkin is a great player, right? But I want to thank Ted and all of the owners for allowing this to take place. It was really great. And thank you. It's a hell of an operation, great place. fantastic arena. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, everybody. At Homeland Security, we will have a tough leader in Kristi Noem, and we will have an outstanding Secretary of Transportation in Sean Duffy, Congressman Sean Duffy. Great people. And we're going to win so much that Governor Burgum of the Interior, you know Governor Burgum, one of the best governors in the country, is in charge of Department of the Interior, and the hottest man anywhere in the world for energy. When I announced him, people couldn't believe it. You didn't hear of him, but if you're in the energy business, he's considered the absolute best. Mr. Chris Wright of the Energy Department. He's going to head up the Energy Department. He's the hottest guy there is. Anybody in the energy business, they said, I can't believe you got Chris Wright. And a man named Marco Rubio is going to be our great future Secretary of State. And Howard Lutnick, a tremendous success on Wall Street, is going to be our Secretary of Commerce. They have to go through these drills, but they're going to. And I want to thank the Republican senators. They've been doing great. And John Thune has been doing a great job in moving the process along quickly. We're going to have a lot of them hopefully approved very quickly. Woman Linda McMahon is going to be our future Secretary of Education, which we're going to be giving back to the states. Let the state run education. I said to Linda, Linda, I'm making you the Secretary of Education, but if you do a great job, you will put yourself out of a job because you're going to be sending it back to the states. And she's fantastic, and her staff, which has been largely hired, is fantastic. And all of the other leaders will come to me and they're going to say, do you remember I used to do this for fun? But it's really not fun, it's fact. Because we have to do some of best of, right? But they're going to come and say to me, sir, we're winning too much, sir. We can't Sir, we can't do it. We're not used to winning in our country. And each one of them is going to say, every single one, sir, please, you're destroying our country. We're winning too much. Our country isn't prepared for this. They're not used to winning, sir. And I'll say, no, Linda and everybody, we're not going to stop winning. The people of our country want us to keep on winning, and we're going to go win like never, ever before. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be doing it, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is having a heart attack down here. Look at him. Uncle Sam is going wild. And they think I pay for these people. I have no idea who he is. All I know is he does. And there's Abe Lincoln. Thank you, honest Abe. I have no idea. I swear, I have no idea who the hell he is. But he looks like Abe. He's probably a little bit shorter, in all fairness. Abe was 6'6". He's a little bit shorter. He's about a foot shorter. Other than that, he's perfect. Thank you, Abe. In addition to the most talented cabinet ever assembled, and we're hearing things like that, we will be supported in our mission by countless wonderful American patriots. First, let me thank my incredible family, and I want to thank in particular somebody that headed up the Republican Party, along with Mike, the two of them, Lara Trump, who you saw before, who produced those two beautiful children. Lara Trump is unbelievable. She was the chairman of the Republican Party, and nobody ever said, oh, gee, it's a family member. They actually said, how the hell did you get her to do it? And she did a phenomenal job. We had a minimum of cheating. We watched them like a hawk. Where is Laura? Where the hell is she? Because she did some job. See, she wants to be nice and quiet. She's here someplace. Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much, hon. She's phenomenal. The job she did, and her son, who was up. Didn't they do a beautiful job? The son and the daughter. How many young kids know that one? They don't know that one. But her husband is somebody I'm very proud of. He's doing a great job. He's been subpoenaed more than any human being in history, I believe. Every day he'd get a subpoena from Congress on something, oh, bullshit, but he'd get a subpoena. He's got a PhD in subpoenas, but he did a fantastic job. And Don, you know all about Don, how he did. He's great. He's very popular, too. He knows a lot about guns, I want to tell you that. We had, by the way, I have to tell you, we had great support from every gun group, including the NRA, which really worked hard. And Ivanka and Jared are here, and Tiffany and Michael are here, and Barron and my 10 incredible grandchildren, and another one coming through Tiffany. And of course, I want to thank our next Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, wherever he may be. There's a lot of people. Wherever the hell he is, he's here someplace. It's a lot of people. It's a little tough when you say, where is he? You know, you got a lot of people in here. But J.D. Vance has been extraordinary. And he's got an unbelievable wife, the Second Lady of the United States, Usha Vance. So, Usha, thank you very much. It's a beautiful couple, great people. We're also pleased to be joined tonight by Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster. The Hulkster. One thing, it's not hard to find him. All he has to do is stand up and you say, there he is. But he's great. And Kid Rock, wow, Kid Rock is a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine for a long, long time. He did that thing on Budweiser. Budweiser will never be the same when he did the gun with the MAGA hat. That was the commercial that everybody saw. Also with us tonight is a great actor, tremendously talented guy, Jon Voight, who's great, and a friend of mine. And Sylvester Stallone is here. Great guy. And you know, I got Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and Jon Voight to become ambassadors to Hollywood, California, to put it back on track. So they're all ambassadors. You have to refer to them as ambassador, Mr. Ambassador. And a man who's got an army of young people, Charlie Kirk, is here. And I want to thank Charlie. Charlie is fantastic. I mean, this guy, don't believe the stuff when you hear the kids are liberal. They're not liberal. Maybe they used to be, but they're not anymore. You got to see how many people are for us. And I want to thank Megyn Kelly. She's been terrific. She's been really great. And Billy Ray Cyrus. And Lee Greenwood, wow, has he been something. What a song and what a man. And you know, by the way, these microphones, you see the microphones? I said, what the hell are those microphones doing standing behind me? You're going to have a little special treat at the end of this speech. I don't want to tell you because you'll rush me off the stage. Get off the stage. But you have a little special treat. And I won't tell you, but let's put it this way. It's the people that 30 years ago had a hot song, never hit #1, hit #5. But 30 years later, it hit #1 week after week. And they're here to sing. They're here to sing. For you. And you won't recognize them. They're slightly larger than they used to be, but that's the way life goes. We can all tell you, that's the way life goes. There's nothing we can do about that. Sebastian Gorka, stand up, Sebastian. I see Sebastian here. There's a patriot. He's been with me through thick and thin, right, Sebastian? Now he's with the administration. Thank you. Great guy. And again, I want to thank Elon for what he did in Pennsylvania. He worked so hard. He worked so hard in Pennsylvania. A great guy and a man who is a champion. A man who took something from nothing. Everybody said this is something will never work. It's too violent. but he understood people. He said they like violence, unfortunately, right? But a man who understood fighting better than any man ever. There's never been anything like this. What Dana White did with the UFC and building it into a monster sport franchise. So I want to thank Dana White of USC for being here. And Dana, you've done a job like nobody could have done. Thank you. He's a great guy and a friend of mine. A great friend of mine. He's a tough cookie. You want him on your side at all times. Every one of those people you want on your side. And we have dozens of other celebrities and everything, but we're going to get back to what we're doing. But I do want to say, in the audience, we have many governors, many senators, many members of Congress, and other distinguished guests, far too many to name, unless you'd like me to name them. No? You want me to name governors, senators, and congresspeople? I thought you were going to say that. Sorry, governors. No, but we appreciate all of the love that we've gotten from them. I'll tell you, our House and our Senate Republicans have been unbelievable, and the governors are unbelievable, the job they're doing. Of the crime-ridden cities, the top 25, every single one of them is run by a Democrat. Does that tell you something? We don't have problems in the Republican cities. Tonight, I also want to send our love to everyone affected by the terrible wildfires raging in California. We're praying for you all. We love you all. We're going to be there very soon. I'm going to go out there on Friday to see it and to get it moving back. We're going to get some of the best builders in the world. We'll get it moving back. And I also want to pay my respects to the great people of North Carolina. You know, I won it every single time. And they've been treated very badly. FEMA almost didn't know it existed. And we're going to get North Carolina rocking and rolling, okay? We're going to get them rocking and rolling. They've been treated very badly as a state. Together we will rebuild Los Angeles better, more beautiful than ever before. We're going to get it going. We have the best builders in the world. It's the only people that could do it. Nobody else knows what the hell they're doing. And in 2028, the Los Angeles Olympics will be one of the great sporting events and patriotic celebrations in history. I was with Gianni, the head of the Olympics, and because of the wildfires, they're going to do a special job. They're going to really do something very special on the Olympics. And the opposite. Some people said, oh, maybe the Olympics can't go there. It turned out just the opposite. They came to see me the other day, and the committee, and it's just the opposite. So the Olympics is great. And Johnny, for the others, you know, the World Cup, Johnny is the head of it. We had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup, too. And, you know, it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. You know, I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, you know, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup. So, Johnny, thank you for the World Cup. And everybody, thank you for the Olympics. We're going to have a great time. We have another thing happening. 250 years. A celebration like no other. 250 years. And that's going to be taking place next year. So we have a lot of big events coming. And everything we do everything. We take it very, very seriously. But what do we do more than anything else? We put America first. And it all starts tomorrow when I raise my hand on the Bible to be sworn as we'll be sworn in tomorrow. We're all going to be sworn in together. That's the way I look at it. It's not me, it's you. Greatest of all time. So we will be sworn in tomorrow. I'll be representing you as your 47th President of the United States. And just in conclusion, together we're going to cut your taxes. end inflation, slash your prices, getting them back down, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to the USA, right where they belong, and that'll be done through tariffs and smart policy. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III from happening, and you have no idea how close we are. We will crush violent crime in our cities and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military again. We did it. We rebuilt our entire military. And then they gave billions and billions of dollars of it to, you remember, to the Taliban. They gave it to the Taliban. They gave our military equipment, a big chunk of it, to the enemy. Do you know that we pay billions of dollars a year? Do you know this? Does anyone know this? To Afghanistan? Do you know that? And I say, if we're going to pay billions of dollars a year, tell them we're not going to give them the money unless they give back our military equipment that these poor, stupid people allowed for them to have. So we'll give them a couple of bucks. We want the military equipment back. We will rebuild our once great cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we want to make this city again safe. We don't want people coming to Washington and getting mugged, shot, killed. We're going to stop it. We're going to beautify it. We're going to make it the most beautiful capital in the world. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And always remember, this is so easy, this will be done tomorrow. We will keep men out of women's sports. It's over. I will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms. We're going to defend that. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again, and that will take place tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Everyone in our country will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope, and also filled with a thing called the American dream that you don't hear much about anymore. For the past 9 years, you and I fought side by side against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth, and in our magnificent victory on November 5th, you showed them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, and from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was won and built by generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers, coal miners, police officers, and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle stand in their path. Nothing could get in their way. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built the great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and launched American astronauts to the moon. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And 75 days ago on November 5th, it was hardworking patriots like you who saved our country. You saved our country. Now, after all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America's promise and we will rebuild the nation that we all love so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down, and we will never, ever, ever, ever surrender. We will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win. And together, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What a great victory for everybody. Thank you, America. Thank you very much. Thank you.